All right, shout out to Beating the Odds with Beeb. Shout out to Boxing Report. Shout out to NBT Boxing. Shout out to the channel that was once called Northwest Boxing, because all of this stuff is going to come from some of you guys and listening to you guys put down bets and all this kind of stuff that was going on. All right, let me start off with stuff that I got from the channel that was formerly known as Northwest Boxing. So Canelo Alvarez, he said that he didn't consider the loss to Floyd Mayweather a loss. He considered it a learning experience, which is all right. It's good, well and good. But I hear Oscar and Bernard Hopkins going around saying how Saul Canelo Alvarez, he was green, he was inexperienced when he faced Floyd Mayweather, he was young. I don't really like that excuse. That excuse is not true at all, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you look right here, Canelo Alvarez is born 1990, July the 18th, 1990. Okay. When he faced Floyd Mayweather, he faced him in 2013, September the 14th of 2013, which means he was 23 years of age. All right. Now, when you look at Canelo's resume before that, this is what happened. He beat Matthew Hatton for the vacant WBC Super Welterweight title. He defended it successfully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then in the 6th time against Austin Trout, the undefeated fighter who beat Miguel Cotto to get the WBA Super Welterweight title. He was able to unify it, knock down Austin Trout in the process. Okay, so that's plenty of experience right there. You can't be no unified Super Welterweight champion, the #1 Super Welterweight in the world, and be green. It just don't work like that. Besides that, the other thing is, and the reason why he was the #1 Super Welterweight in the world and unified champion. Remember, Floyd had beaten Miguel Cotto, right, to get the WBA title, but then he had to go to jail. He never defended that title, so that title stripped from him. Understand? And when Miguel Cotto fought Austin Trout for that title, because Miguel Cotto wasn't the title holder, Austin Trout got the title from Miguel Cotto, beat him to get the title. You understand? All right. So after Canelo beat Austin Trout, Canelo was the #1 Super Welterweight champion in the world. He wasn't linear champion, but he was. Oh, was he? I can't remember. But he was the #1 Super Welterweight champion in the world. Okay, you can't say after you have 44 fights, because he had 44 fights like Floyd. It was 43-0-1, I think it was. After 44 fights with a guy who's smaller than you, okay, he's shorter than you. He's not even in your weight class. He came up your weight class to fight you. That you called out. You can't say that he was inexperienced. You know why? You know why? Let's look at Floyd Mayweather's resume. Floyd Mayweather, born 1997, February the 24th, 10 days after I was born. Well, not in 1977, but I was born in 75, but nonetheless. Okay, point is, 1977, right? His first shot at the title was 18 fights deep. So he had only had 18 fights. He faced Gennaro Hernandez in 1998, October the 3rd, okay? Which means he was 21 years of age, going on 22, right? Check this out. Before he faced Gennaro Hernandez, who was the undefeated super welterweight, long-reigning super featherweight champion of the world, he ain't got no unified title. He didn't face no bona fide world champion. He didn't even win a championship. He faced Tony Pep, 39-6-0. That was his best competition. Then Gustavo Fabian Coelho, 27-1 in a 10-rounder. He had never fought a 12-rounder. Okay, he fought Miguel Melo, 8-1-0. Sam Gerard, 17-4-1. Hector Ayoro, 16-4-2. Angel Nunes, 14-11. You get my point. He ain't fight no top tier competition. Okay, that's why everybody thought, man, Gennaro Hernandez gonna kill this dude, because it was just a big gap in experience. And he goes out, he fights Gennaro Hernandez, who's bigger, stronger, longer than him. Okay, he fights this dude, and he causes this dude's brother to have to throw in the towel in the 8th round because he's taking too much punishment. Okay, but I got more. So he was 21 years of age. That's 2 years younger than Canelo Alvarez. And green. green. And he fought the number one super featherweight in the world. Nobody else was fighting him. Nobody else wanted to fight Gennaro Hernandez. We had other world champions there. The IBF world champion was, at the time, Roberto Garcia, a.k.a. Robert Garcia. Didn't fight Gennaro Hernandez. Okay? We had other guys. One of the world champions on the scene, actually, was beaten by Gennaro Hernandez. Okay? I'm just saying. So, Floyd goes and takes on the number one dude. Yes, he wanted Gennaro Hernandez, just like Canelo wanted Floyd. Okay? So you can't say nothing. But there's more. When he was 23 years of age, Diego Corrales was the number one super featherweight in the world. Even though Floyd hadn't lost anything, Diego Corrales had beaten his opponents in spectacular fashion. He was the IBF champion. He had beaten Roberto Garcia, also known as Robert Garcia, had knocked his tail out. Okay, and he beaten some other well-known names, Flatten, Arturo Gatti, and all kinds of crazy shit. And Diego Corrales, after Floyd beat him, actually went on to do remarkable things. Okay, now we could argue that maybe the fight shouldn't have been stopped, or it should have been stopped. Diego Corrales certainly didn't want it stopped, but Floyd stopped him too. Okay, so he stopped Gennaro Hernandez and he stopped Diego Corrales at the tender age of 23. You know, the age that Canelo was at when Floyd beat him. That's two number one boxers in the world. Okay? At the age of 23. And just 1 year after, he goes on to beat Jose Luis Castillo, the number one lightweight in the world, who was beating everybody. Just saying. And he didn't do it once, but twice that year. Now, Canelo, at the age of 24, he had 43 fights. It was 42-0-1 when he faced Floyd. Okay. Now, Canelo, he went on at the age of 24 to face Arislan Dilar. He fought Alfredo Aguda and Arislan Dilar. It was a questionable decision, just like Jose Luis Castillo. People were saying, Arislan Dilar won, even though I thought Canelo won. But he never rematched Arislan Dilar. He never gave him that rematch. I'm just saying. Right? That was at the age of 24. I'm just saying, if you look at Canelo's life and Floyd Mayweather's life, they match up, man. So don't make excuses about, he was so green, he didn't have the experience. Yeah, Floyd was more experienced than him, but if he wanted to fight, he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. So there are no excuses. He lost to Floyd Mayweather. Alright? He lost. He was outclassed. Okay? He was outboxed. He lost to him. Don't make no excuses. You lost to him. Yes, it was a learning experience, but you lost to him. Alright? Whereas Floyd did not lose to Gennaro Hernandez. He didn't lose to Gennaro Hernandez. And he was green. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Alright? Just saying. Canelo said he was going to knock out Floyd. And I remember he was like, I'm ready. He told Floyd Mayweather, I'm ready. I was born ready. You remember that? Y'all forget this, man. Y'all forget. Y'all forget so much. Floyd was smaller than him and everything. I'm just saying. But yeah, when it comes to Triple G versus Canelo, I'm looking forward to that. I believe Canelo is going to beat Triple G comprehensively. A lot of people think this is going to be a 50-50 fight. I just don't see it. I don't see this fight as a 50-50 fight at all because Canelo's got the defense and GGG don't have that defense. GGG's like Pacquiao. He's like Roman Gonzalez. Did you see what happened with Roman Gonzalez versus Juan Francisco Estrada? All right, then. But this fight ain't going to be like that. Alvarez going to have the better defense. Clearly. And y'all counting on GGG's power. But this boy can box, man. Canelo can box. He can fight too, but he can box. He's not like the other boxers, the other C-level and D-level boxers that and inexperienced boxers that GGG faced. He's more of the experienced kind. Kell Brooks and the Danny Jacobs. I don't know if Danny Jacobs is hating him, but anyway. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing more to say. I know what's up. But those people who know boxing know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That defense, that special effects, man. But hey, if GGG wins, I'll eat my words. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't see Canelo getting beaten by GGG. I've been proven wrong though. I see Pacquiao get beat by Jeff Horn. I didn't think Jeff Horn had a prayer. But of course, Pacquiao didn't have that defense. It's just so different. I mean, guys with okay, we had Bernard Hopkins who got knocked out by Joe Smith Jr. and he's supposed to have that defense, but you know, Joe Smith Jr. took him apart, right? So maybe people are thinking that Gennady Golovkin's power will somehow stun Canelo and then take him, then Gennady Golovkin go in for the kill. But if Canelo's got that defense, like I think he does, even if GGG stuns him, I just don't see GGG taking him out. I just don't see it because he can. You know what to do when you get hurt. You know what to do if you're a defensive fighter. The difference is Canelo's a defensive fighter. GGG is not. Y'all can say what you want. You can color it however you want. He's a defensive fighter, and I think that's the difference here. They really taught him the fundamentals very well. He learned a lot from Floyd, and I can tell he admires Floyd a lot. As much as Floyd's out of the game now, he watched every single Floyd fight, and I would too, because I learned things by watching him, and I learned things from fighting him. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do, you know, and I would use those things in my fights. So I don't know, man. I think of this fight, I'll go as far as to say I think this fight is a reflection of if Floyd was to face Gennady Golovkin, this is what you'd get. I would even dare it to say a much more less skilled Pretty Boy Floyd versus Gennady Golovkin, because I think Canelo's going to be much more aggressive. What Floyd did to Canelo, Canelo's going to look to do to Golovkin in a different kind of way, but in his Canelo-y way. But that's what Canelo going to do to Golovkin, because guess who got the experience at the top level? Guess who's the A-level fighter with all the experience? And I'm going to just say this. I think Billy Joe Saunders would have torn up Golovkin as well. Saunders, I think, he's going to beat that boy, what's his name? Willie Monroe Jr. He's going to beat him this weekend. So that's my two predictions. Canelo Alvarez is going to beat Golovkin, and he's going to beat him bad. Okay, he's going to beat him very bad. And I think that Billy Joe Saunders is going to beat Willie Monroe. If I'm wrong on both, this is boxing. It happens. But the odds are in my favor for these two fighters to win, and not, well, at least in the case of Canelo, I don't think Canelo wants it to go to a decision, but it depends on how the fight goes, you know. But I think Canelo got GGG's number. He knows what he has to do to beat this guy, and he knows there's different ways, and he's watching to see what Golovkin will present to the table. He will watch to see. But he knows he can beat this dude. And not just beat him, but beat him up. Beat him up. After what Danny Jacobs is, he know he can beat him up. And for those of you who think that Gennady Golovkin has something extra to show to the table, his core style is still what it is. And he wouldn't do what he do if he just doesn't have the defense. He tries to use pivot work because he can shift. I ain't gonna say no more, because there's this. Just remember the word special effects, all right? I ain't gonna tell you what special effects is. I think some of you who have watched my videos, you know what special effects is, but he ain't got special effects. That's the problem. That's why Floyd keep on saying straight up and down. Yeah. You can go watch my videos. You'll know what special effects is. Just go watch one of my tutorial videos on boxing. Or go check out Eric Bradley's channel. Shout out to the Fight Doctor Eric Bradley. You guys have a great one.